is getting ready.
Just like
A pillow or something.
ideally.
We have
some
pillows in
down.
the nook.
There's some.
There's really some pillows in the nook you could
bench.
use.
This was a bad idea.
Okay, I think it's 7:10.
Everybody took
So
a breath.
we'll call it to order. We have invited Trish Devine to come. She has volunteered to join the board to replace Kiri. Or not to replace Kiri, but fill the slot. We will discuss it in executive session, I think, quickly at the end. But, just wanted her to observe the meeting. See how poorly I do my job. There is no public people here, so we will move along with comment. We have the minutes from the meeting that Patrick sent, which were amended by Ethan already. And I just, did anybody else have any comments or anything they needed to change? Yeah. All seemed okay.
The minutes are on a separate.
They were.
Oh,
they were-
Jean, I
uh,
don't know
you
if
might
I
not have been on
printed them
that.
out. They just came, so let me just email them to you. Oh, should we take, roll call? Roll call. Attendance.
Do we need to
But there are
do?
no changes.
Oh, yeah.
Ethan made a couple of changes to the first version.
Minutia.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, Patrick had a
Yeah.
question about one of the policies, so Ethan
Under the policy
And
review.
watched the
Yeah.
replay of the blanks.
I guess. You want us to officially do a roll call or you're good?
I'm okay.
And then we have a motion to accept the meetings of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the.
I'll second it.
And with the second thing, all in favor?
Aye.
Now I have to find the agenda again. All right, we do this every. Thank you. That's also, we gotta do the bills. Is Ted there?
What happened to your dad?
He was there a minute ago. He muted himself.
Do you want me to give him a call?
I'm here.
Oh, you are.
There he is.
Confusing mess. Okay.
Is there anything you need to say?
No, basically,
It's as
have it in
presented.
front of you. The cap file. We did receive the town check.
Yay!
Yay.
We
Very
received
happy about that.
$750 from the Stewart's Holiday Match,
Nice.
and there was $20,000 that we got as a corporate donation from Goldman Sachs. And several people contributed money as personal was $732.17.
And a lot of that came from Michael Manning's memorials.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
I don't know.
Yeah,
If you did, I didn't get it.
that only went in the spreadsheet in or not Excel, in Google Sheets. He wouldn't know.
Yeah. You wouldn't know about that. But we wrote thank you notes.
So people were.
Where did the money go?
It went into, I think, personal
It was
donation.
a lot PayPal. A lot of it came in through PayPal, and then some for checks. But that was this was this month. Was that?
We didn't do anything separate. This was just some people making donations in someone else's name. So we didn't do anything special in terms of the finances, like adding a line or something.
Yeah. I didn't mean to cause consternation.
Did the money come in? And was I notified of it?
Yeah, we made a deposit.
Okay. As long
Yeah.
the paperwork I got didn't say anything.
In a drawer somewhere.
Roughly $500 between, I don't know, 7, 8 people, something. like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
From all over too.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
known Mike a long time, and this was very far reaching. Very, very interesting to see.
I sent a thank you note to the family as well for putting us in there.
Yeah,
The obituary that we were, nice that they could make contributions.
Okay, so can we need to pay the bills?
Can I ask,
Okay.
oh, sorry, I just
Yeah.
had a question. The corporate donation from Goldman Sachs, is that something that we've ever gotten before? That's like, just, was that,
We get
where did
it.
that come from? Was that just kind of a,
Just
We
showed
get it.
up.
I think he's given it before.
So he
Yeah.
gave the Friends
He gave
7,500
some
last year,
last year.
but
Okay.
it's through a Goldman Sachs giving fund. And,
Right.
so I don't know what the qualifications are, but.
like, we don't know how we were chosen
The
necessarily?
employee has to choose
Okay,
who, and then it goes to kind of like, it's like an internal grant almost,
Okay.
so
Yeah, it's.
you can't apply for it.
Given
yeah.
before
Mhm.
to all the organizations around.
oh,
This
okay.
Goldman Sachs,
He's had a
and
house
somebody
up
has to
in-
put your
up by Running
name
Brook
in,
for
right?
years.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Right.
so he had to put
Yeah,
our name
fire
in
up
for
here.
reception.
Yeah. And it's for enrichment and outreach, I think, are the two things that you use it for.
I've lost the final. Oh, there.
so that is earmarked for something specific, that 20,000?
Enrichment and outreach, I believe.
Just you can determine, it's a
I mean, you
indeterminate
can't
grant.
use it for certain things. It says, I think, doesn't it? I
Just
thought
said
it-
enrichment and outreach, community outreach and enrichment programs.
Right, that's
Yeah.
very.
So
broad.
programs, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Many of our programs are
Well,
enrichment.
yeah, I mean, all of them really, that's such a broad
Yeah.
word, so, okay.
So we need to pay the bills, so we need someone to make a motion to pay the cat bud. I don't know. Someone do
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the cap lot number 260421.
that? The total.
Oh, in total of $30,313.70.
I'll second.
Allison seconds, sure. All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. About searching and I never. Okay, and then we need to, if there's anything else we need to discuss about the funding reports. They all look great. It's nice to see the money from the town. It bumps us up to where we should be. We have to wait so long. Can we have another motion to accept the financial reports? You look like you want to make a motion
Uh,
to accept the,
to accept,
all of the financial reports,
sure, I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are we at our progress on any type of investment accounts?
My question too. I'm glad
Okay.
you brought it up.
Okay, no, I appreciate it. I'm just gonna-
Because this would be the opportunity.
This is the perfect moment, actually, you're
And
right.
the CD rates have kind of
Have they come back up?
a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
It's more that the high yield savings rates have gone down,
Right,
so.
Treasury bonds too, I think. Look and see what they are, but I think they're still kind of where a high yield savings account would be.
I forget where I left off with finding all the bits and pieces that we need to have to get set up as a correct nonprofit. with those. Thanks. But I will get back to that and be away the rest of the week, but,
How much is it? It's
66.
260, so if we say two. I just talked to Bank of Millbrook today and they're at, for that size, it would be about 35 basis points and the fees would kind of not make sense
mhm,
for the return we would get. We'd probably get 4 to 4.5%, but it negates itself
From Bank Millbrook.
from Bank of Millbrook. Yeah. And I only bring that up because I just talked to him today
Yeah.
about fees. So,
okay, so I can call and have them.
and I would not even,
Conversation.
I mean, I would just look at, I can send you a couple more options because I know it's the hardest part is without choosing a local bank, you have to go through online and then you have to submit all the paperwork.
Right,
But I think the Bank of Millbrook might even be able, if you want to call just the local office
Uh-huh.
and just ask them about a CD,
okay,
they might do a CD for us. I would call, is it Beth?
yep,
Yeah, Beth.
yeah, I can get in touch with them.
And if we did, a 3-month CD or
Right,
month to
Well-
month and then roll them over,
Or a
like,
few, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I would suggest definitely if you have,
do a letter.
yeah, that's what we
Mhm.
typically do. So one matures at the end of each month.
Right.
And then you can decide if
Yeah.
you want to renew it or not.
Very smart. You know, the front side. Um. I've got a couple of things, I mean, like this month killed me because of tax season, but, we need to get back to, we never made the final decision via email about what percentage we were gonna do. The last, when I looked at it, was Allison, you saying we should look at the future budget, which of course was the wrong time to ask for a budget
Mhm.
kind of projection from Deanne, because she was in the middle of the annual report, which is
Right.
now
Yeah.
done. So we need, I think we need to actually make a decision tonight, because I'll get the lawyer writing up stuff that we have to vote on. So we've got, it's April, May, we have to vote on the wording of the, petition and, the cap override. Just write this all down, I'll borrow your pen. And so we can vote on that, and then we gotta get the petition signed, because we'll have to vote in July on accepting the petitions. It doesn't take very long to get the petitions signed because we just need 25 signatures. So we've got June for that. So that's the schedule. So it's a little less frantic, with that, but, so we need to try to have a moment where we can think about the number and kind of get to the percentage that we wanted to get to. And then we have to do I wasn't able to kind of consolidate all the self-assessment stuff that I did, but I'll do that for next month. Promise. and, so that's everything I need to do. That's fine. And that's where we are with that. Made, I think that's as much as I've accomplished this month. We're not doing anything. Jean,
Yeah, so, we presented the $1,000 for the programs for the summer camp or for the summer to the library, and, we're heavily into the book sale. Just- which is a lot.
Good stuff though, or?
So, I don't know, are you taking books out?
We are taking some
Oh,
books out.
yeah.
Yeah, we really
It's,
are.
So they're taking books out. We don't normally do that, but I mean, we
There's gotta
have
be
in
some
the
good
past.
stuff.
Looked at them first. Are you taking a lot of books out?
Not a huge amount,
No,
no,
but
just, mainly when there's a
Okay.
series, we know like, oh, we're missing 1 and 2 out of this.
Oh, yeah,
We'll snag that.
yeah, that's good. So we have, I have volunteers that are helping sort and, we do it usually Tuesday mornings and Friday.
Hmm.
After there's, try to get them out of the first floor. So,
How much longer are you taking?
we're
Donations?
taking till the 9th day.
Okay.
And we can't go upstairs because
Oh.
they're having a play. They're having a murder mystery
Yeah.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the
Yeah,
8th,
that's
and
right.
they didn't want us, Joanne didn't want us up there while they dress in there and everything. So we have to wait. So we're in the basement, basically, doing the, putting the books in box. And should I tell them what happened?
I don't know.
I know.
Afterwards, it's a dessert story.
Okay. Deanne, you're next.
Okay, the annual report is done.
Yeah.
I submitted it. They did not release it until the 1st of April. And then we had to get in it by the 10th. And then she worked on it and gave us back corrections because we are still not aligning with what, I mean, the state has changed how they categorize things. And so we had to go back and do some things and I had to fix the budget and stuff. So anyway, we got it all in on time. So nothing's come back yet, but they spared every expense on that user interface on that new software. Every expense. It was awful. So, okay, so community, any questions on the annual report? We're making some changes so that hopefully we'll be more in alignment with what the state wants, but they change it every year. So there's only so much we can do.
Do you have an estimation of how many hours?
I don't want to know. It was awful, Ethan. It truly was awful.
And honestly, it was always awful. Alexis used to tell stories about it, so.
She has a CPA mom and I
Yeah.
don't think in accounting terms and they define things differently than we did and it really messed things up. So it was a nightmare. It was awful. I didn't cry though, so some choice words were said though. But yeah, the user interface, they were really late releasing the software, but I think the only thing they had trouble with was integrating the reports from last year back into what they were doing this time. It was awful. So anyway, that's done. So community day planning is going well. We have art samples for the scavenger hunt, but that's going real well. Like Cheyenne's got that under control. We may have to purchase crafts for the upstairs. They were working with Home Depot to get like 100 or 200 crafts. And Home Depot says they cannot provide them now. So we may have to come up with something else, but we'll come up with something else for that.
Is that for Community Day?
Yeah,
or the
Community
summer?
Day,
Oh.
Community Day. And everything else is, we still have permission to use the lot back there from the church. And so they'll put the corn maze and the bouncy houses back in there. And then I've got a full crew working upstairs and downstairs for that day because we will be having a lot of people coming through here as well as upstairs. Because the townwide scavenger hunt will be finding, I don't know if you're familiar with it, we're going to be having little pictures of Paige the cat in various places. This is a community day map. Where all the places where our scavenger hunt picture is going to be, and people will get their picture stamped or their card stamped and then bring it back here for prizes. So these are the book, it's going to be a bookmark, and they will stamp the 6 places. And then this is the places where they are: Bank of Millburg, Storybook Cafe, Pine Plains, Dissing Center, and Roosters and Sput Check. So
Nice.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. We did CPS training on March 18th in the library. Everybody was in attendance. It was CPS training. Ethan's trying to find us CPR training and first aid training, and we've had members of the community express interest in attending that as well.
Did Stephanie Bonk ever? Okay. I'll get this on that.
And was this for CPR for children or training children to do CPR?
This is for us to train, to learn how to
Okay.
do first aid and CPR on children if necessary.
Okay.
And this is for our
Yes,
people.
there's no distinction in the card, so if kids want to take it.
Yeah.
got Body weight, do compressions. Go for it.
I went to the YDP grant was the Dutchess County grant that we received for Kids Club, and that was the 8,000. And that's what we have used to pay Cheyenne and the assistants to a certain extent. But they invited me to come to the council meeting this afternoon, along with the other awardees, to tell them what we're doing with our program. It was very interesting with other people who are doing. We're the only ones doing things for kids, elementary kids. The rest of them are doing things for teens, basically. But we all had transportation problems. Because we all had transportation, no transportation to get kids from the schools to here. So we're actually quite lucky that we have 2 buses, one bus a month for each school. But it's bad all over around this country. But it was mainly people from this area of the county that were
getting these
there.
grants?
Yeah, that were there. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Cause it was at Star, right?
it was at Star.
Okay.
There were, let's see, Red Hook Community Center was there, Stetsburg, us was the other library, and Dover.
Okay.
Then Dover is back in that area, but, we were in that,
Well, I'm
and that-
glad we were all getting the grants.
yes.
Like that makes me happy. I'm not surprised that those are the areas that would have trouble with transportation.
Yeah.
Right.
And I told y'all last year, or last month, that I had reapplied for that grant again and asked for the full amount. We may not get the full amount, but whatever we get will be helpful.
Yeah.
They have invited me to be on that council or to apply for that, but all the meetings are in Poughkeepsie. You have to be on a subcommittee, and they're on every night, every third Tuesday. So I cannot support that. I cannot. Between that and a subcommittee twice a month going, I can't do it.
Too much.
There's too much. So I'll have to refuse. But it was an honor to be asked.
I mean, so you applied for the full amount, which is 25,000?
That's separate, yeah. But they wanted me on the council that helps.
No, I know.
determine those.
Sorry. Yeah. I'm just thinking, I mean, I'm sure you can find a lot of things to do with $25,000 again, but didn't you have a little bit of trouble spending it this year? Or not
no,
necessarily? Okay.
Absolutely. This was
Okay.
for salaries.
Oh,
This was
okay.
the
I'm
grant that
sorry.
was for salaries.
I was thinking it was the one for all of the
Oh, I had no
upgrades you
trouble.
made.
No
Okay.
trouble spending anything.
Okay.
No,
good.
I never had.
I just feel like every time you were like, okay, I have something else I'm
No.
gonna buy. And
So the problem I had was getting things in.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
The problem was
That makes
finding
sense.
that would come in a timely fashion,
Mhm.
or that was the main
Okay.
problem.
Yeah, it had to be spent by a certain date.
Yeah, by
Yeah, I
December, I
guess
had 3
that-
months to spend it
okay.
all. That was the problem.
That makes sense.
Okay, let's see. Okay, grants. So these signs, if you noticed, we that was from the ALA grant,
Mhm.
and we got them, my son installed them over the weekend. The inserts for the tilted bookshelves have come in. There was some problems with that, but I can't do anything about it. The color was not quite what I thought it was going to be, but we're just going to deal with it. Also,
Is it awful?
no, it's not. I don't know how old those shelves are, but the gray was too gray that they sent me, and so I said beige. I thought it was a gray beige, but it's a taupe beige.
Mm.
So it's on the bottom shelves. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna worry about it.
And hopefully stuff will be on them.
Yeah, yes, that's the plan. I'm having issues with the company. They sent a box of parts, and I'm like, what are these parts for? They have no instructions on how to. I hope I never have to deal with that company again. So we will have it done before the trustee dinner, huh?
What's the company?
I'll have to get it for you. We are small. They do university libraries and
I'm
medical.
curious.
all-
I
all
used to work
like-
for
yeah,
a
Mondale.
university library.
It was Mondale Shelves, but
Oh,
it's some
yeah.
sort of company out of New Jersey. Ugh, anyway, they sent us a box of parts. I don't know what they're for.
Well.
I could stop by.
All these, it just should be two ends and it is ends. So they sent us like extra parts, like it's supposed to be inserts and the shelves and
Have you been able to get them installed? or-
no, they're not yet.
Okay.
No.
can
Well, I was
come
waiting
and-
for the instructions. 'Cause I was like, well, I
I
have
can
what?
come and look
they
at
didn't-
them and then see if I, that's what I did.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would be fun. But I'd like to have that in before the trustee dinner on the fifth.
Installed shelves.
That's part of my job, yeah.
It
I
looks
was always the
Jack of all
one
trades.
doing it, yeah. I
So-
was the logistics person.
They have the two ends and the slots, but then they sent some other parts and I had no idea what to do with them.
I'll
Anyway,
look at- I'll-
okay.
I'll look
Maybe
at
they're
them.
extra, yeah.
We did not get the ALA grant for the glass partition, but that's
Oh.
okay. That's okay because we have some other plans and we can discuss that once we
Mhm.
do the lease on the building.
Right.
We redo the lease on the building. We have some, and Cheyenne came up with some interesting proposals for space. We have, I'm not sure what the latest trustee dinner, I think we're gonna be short of people, but we estimated 95 people coming, and I don't think we have 95 people coming, but I do need some round tablecloths. Does anybody have any, like, do you know, does, the Friends don't have any round tablecloths?
No,
do
we
they?
don't, but, the seniors, you put tablecloths whenever they have their.
Okay, maybe they,
So maybe Joanne,
okay.
I don't know, do they wash? I don't know if they wash them themselves or
Probably do. Okay.
probably do.
I'll ask Joanne then. That would be good, because I don't have, I'm gonna put up like 3 round tables out, that's all. I don't need them for everything. Okay, I'll ask for that. But Ted was very kind and cut the check for us very quickly for that. Anybody questions for any of that? Okay, program highlights, you can see our statistics, they speak for themselves. Our staff has done a great job. We have just been doing amazing things. Cardboard day, and this is not even cardboard day, is not even these statistics, because that happened on April 1st.
Oh.
We had 31 kids at cardboard day with at
Mhm.
least 10 parents and 10, 15 people down there.
We were on spring break and we heard,
Yeah.
my daughter was like, I can't believe we had to go to Florida. Why couldn't I go to? all of that?" Like,
Go home and ask me where all our cardboard was.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a sorry. So yeah, it was a big hit.
Oh, good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
And
Which
it-
is how they found out about the crocheting, which then of course she was sick for that. Yeah, so that I think would be another one that some of like the preteens would really, really like if
We're
you have
adjusting.
availability.
Yeah, we're adjusting some of the team programs because
Mhm.
it's trying to find times that are good for everybody
Yeah.
is hard.
Mhm.
And we're getting towards the end of the year, but Shine's, we're playing around with some things, so
Mhm.
we'll give some more programs and some more.
I know Roger and Lenny said that they were, it was very noisy.
It was, we had musical instrument petting zoo one day for Kids Club. That was this was this month too, so
Right.
that's not even in the statistics for this month. But that was fun. It was a cacophony, but it was so much fun. And they played, it was very nice. Let's see. Yes, I just cannot sing praises enough for staff. They've been, I mean, we've been swamped, with, 30 people in here doing at the same time. Our afternoons are insane with Kids Club, but they handle it like a 3-ring circus, and it is a well-organized 3-ring circus.
Whenever I'm here, it's lovely. I try to not get involved.
Let's see, Seed Library, we're getting some more donations in. Most of the ones that are going out are flowers, but we're getting some more seeds coming in from Burpee and another places is offering them as well. Shine did split the packages and that's what,
good. That's good.
yeah, we'll have a look at if you'd like. Summer reading, I showed y'all some of the samples of summer reading. Instead of dinosaurs, which is the New York State thing, they didn't have very compelling marketing materials with it. So Shine wanted to do dragons and so that's what we're doing. We're changing it to dragons, but we're revamping what we did last year. We're not doing whole books. You're doing 15-minute increments. So it'll be but we're still giving away, we got the Stewart's grant for $750. So that'll pay for the bags. That'll pay for most of the books as well. So we'll give kids their choice of books. The Friends are also adding a component for prizes just for teens that will be Holy Cow and Lyceum theaters. So we'll give, so teens would hopefully participate more. You can see our daily average user chart. Our scanning project is going really well. That scanner is amazing and we had some problems with the computer, got that fixed. we did not get an invoice for that, but we did have to hire Rich to fix one of the computers. It just was crashing. And I think it's an older version of Windows that's giving, or
Mm.
I don't know what's going on with it, actually. But he also, for our, we have a backup system downstairs now that will hold our scanning. It's an 8 terabyte system that he put in for us. He's giving us a good price on it, but that was where we're storing our documents on premises. Trustee education keeps going. And I'm gonna let, I would like Annie to speak with some of the things that are pertinent to her area of expertise.
All right, the first is FOIL, Freedom of Information Law. I just want to make sure everybody is aware our communications about the library may be subject to it. So please make sure you aren't
To our
doing
internal board.
your any emails, any text messages. I'm not exactly an expert on it, but the trustee handbook club did do a video about it. It's recorded on YouTube. I remember I was surprised, even things like if we are chatting about should we close the library, that's a text message, email, and if that's written down at all, we have to be able to provide it. So make sure nobody's doing a little
Mhm.
accidental spoliation.
Okay.
Right. Next is new trustee information. Ethan and I talked a little bit about this. Thank you, Ethan, for leading the charge to update our website. The Board of Trustees page has a lot more information now.
Great.
Also, I am putting together a binder, which will also be a PDF of information for anybody new. So like education requirements, what quorum is, how we meet it, things like that.
Mhm.
If there's anything that you all as existing board members know that you'd really like the next group to have, please let me know. I'll put it in. If you want, I don't know if you want it in like the binder or if you just want me to send it to you as it's in progress for feedback, just let me know.
I'd like to look at it before it's
Oh, absolutely.
printed.
Yeah. Let's see. Human resources. Dan and I attended Dutchess County HR's training. There's a lot going on there. The way we do things, we have to change a lot. The main thing that we really took from that is that we absolutely need to have our own HR team. If not one on call, then definitely we need to have one to put together an actual handbook because we need to provide that to employees. Dutchess County HR also, if there is an issue, their job is to support the employee.
Mm.
So we need to make sure on our end everything is smoothed out.
And that's why I put that information
Mhm.
on the
Yeah.
packet for the reason I have put that in there is because Mid Hudson has used them for their operations and their handbooks, and they were able to they were so pleased with them that they negotiated a deal for other people, other libraries to do it.
Okay.
So, and other libraries have been using them and have been very, very happy.
Great.
And mainly for the same things, which is the handbook, the employee handbook, things like that.
Policy review. Thank you so much, Ethan and Jenna in particular, for being the people I'm shoving the drafts
Thank you
at, but
very
all of you as well for your feedback. Pending a couple more edits that we've already approved. The final one that is legally mandated should be ready for the May meeting. After that, however, the work continues.
Yeah.
We need to review some that are 5 years or older.
Mhm.
And also, I found a document from Mid Hudson that detailed as of 2021 or 2023, which essential policies we had on
Mhm.
file with them. And using that as a reference, I found we have quite a few that we really need to have that we just don't.
Okay.
So once we've got the legally mandated done and
The
reviews, I think
yeah.
those have to take precedence.
Yeah.
After that,
We'll start,
we'll move.
we'll start knocking them off. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Cataloging and collection. We have been doing a whole lot of that. Numbers in front of you, we have done almost 1,000 in the last year. Around about, was it? Yeah, 150 in the first quarter of 2026. And that is in every type of material that is a physical material. So that's not like digital ebooks, audiobooks.
Hmm.
That is only what you can touch in this library. We also have quite a few large scale projects, expanding our graphic novels, completing series, which I mentioned with Jean just now. We have a lot of like book 3 and 4, but not 1 and 2. Yeah, we're adding genre stickers. We've had a lot of patrons say, oh, where's your like fantasy section? We don't have that, so we're hoping that having a visual cue will be able to help them.
That's great. Yeah.
We're also going to be curating our nonfiction books in particular. And Hudson does have some tools for finding things that are like, especially with health information, we want to make sure we don't have like,
Oh,
here's a diet book from 1994. So we can use that. We can also just manually go through.
Right, there's a lot.
yeah. No.
That's often
Jane
donated to the
Fonda.
bookstore.
Yeah. Yeah, you all
So
get
we
some.
always look at the dates.
Yeah.
And also the, some books look absolutely brand new.
Hmm.
They've been in someone's personal bookshelf for
Right.
years, but they're really old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but they look great. So we always check to see if there's anything from within the last 5 years that we can add an extra cost, money to, so.
And our last aspect of that is replacing items in poor condition. That's going to be, I think, a big part of what we're going to be cataloging going further are some that are just, you don't want to touch that, you don't want to take it out, or it's just going to break. So we want to make sure patrons can take out items that they are comfortable and want to use. And finally, digital security, as you noted, Claire, some of our digital habits and procedures, they need to be tightened up. So we also spoke with Rich Harlan, our IT guy, and he echoed that sentiment. So ongoing, this isn't going to be something that you all are going to have to deal with, but I figured we should make sure you know that on our end, are going to be doing a lot to firm up our password protocols, storage of documents, things like that.
So all that to say, we're working on programs as well as collections.
Great.
This is not
Which
something,
is good.
yeah.
No, I think it's great. I did go into, I forget what website I was clicking on a link to go to, and it did say,
Yep.
you're leaving,
Yeah, we got that
up.
which is
We got that up.
wonderful, yeah.
yes, yeah.
It's very appreciated to make sure people know we're giving them access to things
Yeah.
that are.
So I guess a few questions I
Yes.
have on this section. The human resources quote, I think, yes, you do need help. I think it's very expensive. And my question would be, once you have the handbook done, how often would you need them?
So they can help us with, they could help us with the retirement system, getting us integrated with that. The handbook takes a long time. I mean, from what I understand, Amelia was using them, and I can find out what else. But we can also just a la carte, there's the
Yeah.
prices on that for a la carte. But I don't know. I think it would be to have them on retainer, if that's what if that's what it takes. That would help.
I think my experience with, we used an attorney to do our HR kind of oversight, because the handbook was something, they have a standard handbook. It's a New York State, like this is where they start. So we started there, which was kind of like a la carte, and then they edit it every year for us, and we pay the attorney fee, which is, I mean, $150 an hour, but the cost of it, I would just say, maybe less expensive if you find an HR attorney, or if you just look at other options. They should have something you can start with. Like they shouldn't, they're not recreating it for scratch. It's something they, all of New York State.
I would bet this company is not creating it from.
I would think so
scratch.
too.
So they're
but-
not, they're.
Yeah, but the price on this was $300 a month.
I think what the Amelia had done was pay the one fee for the handbook, to go over the handbook. So I don't, that was, I don't know that we need them on a monthly basis.
Well, I guess that's what I was questioning, was
Yeah,
that the monthly
no.
basis seems really high.
I'm
for us to.
I just
Okay.
gave you all
No.
what she gave me. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is not.
Yeah.
I think that we don't have a price for them working on just the handbook.
Just the handbook.
We just have the retainer.
So that's why I
That's
just
why
assumed
we're
that's
sorry.
what you
No,
were
yeah.
looking at was.
Oh, maybe I messed up and didn't put, I sent that when I was still doing the annual report. So
That's okay, but it just includes, their fee includes, all of the,
it's like
You know,
$1,900.
ongoing, yeah.
No, I think it was like $1,900 or $1,900 to do the handbook or something
Okay.
like that. I don't,
And
I
then we
apologize.
could,
No, it's
I
fine.
mean, I think we should see that and.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Think about that, and then, whether we really need to have them on retainer for
No, I didn't.
$300 a month.
No, I didn't.
No, I
Here we
don't
go.
think so.
Periods may not be
Mm.
necessary.
And then the other question, I guess, is thinking about the budget, since we're gonna have the talk about
Right.
kind of where we need to
talk
go.
about
So, you know, the human resources piece of it, we would need to include for the budget. I mean, I have my checklist. I'm happy to share with you on employee
Mhm.
paperwork. Like I have a whole checklist that you have to have for every single employee, what needs to be updated every year. That's
We
pretty,
have that, I think.
do you?
What we have is, Mid Hudson has a sample policy, in their
Mhm.
sample
Mhm.
policies, I think they do have a basic handbook.
Yeah.
But that one was so wide reaching and a
Mhm.
lot of it was like, check your local state requirements. So
Mhm.
it wasn't
Well,
customized
that
close
is the
enough.
best way to do it, honestly, because state requirements change every single year. So instead of having to so our paid family leave
Mhm.
is according to New York State policy, because we don't want to
Okay.
update our handbook every time New York State changes their policies. So I would say that's kind of best
That one's-
practice to
Okay.
less is more. Like
Yeah.
saying, you know, whatever the current standards are for New York State will abide by. But I guess the other budget piece is the cataloging and collections, like the large scale projects about expanding. I think that's wonderful. And I think if we can include that planning, like if you want 50% more budget for next year on kind of physical materials or something like that. If you could put a number to that, that would be helpful.
I can because I've been tracking everything we order and how much it costs. So I can provide some numbers of that.
Great.
Ebooks are, I.
No, yeah, you've
Ebooks
said that a
have
few
gone up.
times.
Ebooks have
You've-
gone up.
More.
No more than, they are getting comparable in price to audiobooks, which I just
Yeah.
realized this last week when I was looking at my mid-April purchasing. I was like, they're as expensive as, they're like $5 less now. It was unbelievable how much they've gone up. I do have a number and I did not realize it was not on here. She has a standalone handbook is $1,200 and compliance assessment is $1,500. So she said it's not much less than the annual retainer, which was
Mhm.
3,600. So that's what she was saying. So I thought that information was in there.
So if we put them on retainer, would we not have to pay them the $1,200 to do the
I
handbook?
think it would be,
It
It would
looks
be
like it
part
would be
of-
part of it.
yeah, it would be
Okay,
part of it.
so,
I mean, that
So-
might be worth it then.
so it might be for 1 year
1
to
year.
sign up
Mhm.
and then see
Mhm.
how it
See how it
goes.
goes.
If-
Yeah, and you could ask how long like, what's the time frame of them developing a handbook with you and how, you know, because if
Right.
they say, oh, it'll only take us 8 months or something,
Right,
or if
then
they
we
say it'll
just
take
go-
over a year, but I can't imagine it would, but.
Yeah, so I mean, like in that, if they're including that in the retainer, then it might be worth to sign a year.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll ask her
Um,
about that.
So just get that confirmed and then we can
Okay.
move from there.
Do they specialize in libraries or they just have a deal with Mid Hudson because Mid Hudson liked them?
So they worked with Mid Hudson and then they've begun working with other libraries as well. So I think they've become, if they weren't familiar at first, they are now with some of the, now, and also when we went to that HR training, we kind of figured out because we were wondering if Duchess could help us with some of the HR issues since we're civil service, but they can't. They always said, talk to your HR, talk to your HR. You know, they can do certain things and help us in certain ways, but for policy things,
I will say that even the HR, occasionally they will say, talk to your attorney. I get that quite a bit
We
with
do have
feedback
that.
yeah. So there will be some times where, and I find it frustrating because I'm like, well, this is an HR issue, but in reality, it's a legal issue and they can't provide legal
Do you
advice.
have an HR attorney or just Schofield?
we did the HR attorney 2 years ago. And they're with the same
Oh,
firm
I
that
know.
did,
Okay.
yeah, it's the same firm
So
that
through
does
Schofield,
yeah,
yeah.
Schofield, yeah.
Which is why we ended up just going to the attorney for everything, because in the end,
Wow.
they were faster and
Like-
it ended up like the whole process ended up being less expensive. But no, I think I still feel like it's a lot for a handbook.
I will ask.
Okay.
I will ask.
My request would be to get a second quote from somebody, I don't care who,
Yeah.
Okay.
anybody.
Yeah.
Maybe the attorney, I'll talk to our
Mhm.
attorney
Yeah.
and see what they have.
Yeah.
So any questions on statistics? Any questions on any of this?
How
Things?
many, how many employees do we have now?
So we have 3 full-time and 5 part-time. And we are humming right along. What else was there?
Are the documents that you're scanning such as minutes ending up, is the intention for them to end up accessible on the website?
No. We could, but they are from many, many years ago.
We're freeing up space.
That's what we're doing.
And we did consult with someone who works with the local government schedule, which is records retention in the law. Yeah, and I think she's fine with the digitization, but we just don't have a place to put. Next year, we're gonna be out.
I'd like to see more minutes specifically on the website, because we only go back to 2020. There's no historical reference beyond that. There's a lot of history with this library.
Yeah,
Good, bad.
there's a lot of.
I'm not saying 1978 needs to be on there necessarily.
We could do that.
But
Yeah.
you want to put it on?
1970.
It also might be interesting, like, as if we get through is, like, have them pretty compressed on there. But if we then say, we also have these digitized, if you need something, this might be-
That's what it's for. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can actually we can have them ask for it and because we'll have it stored locally.
Yeah, we could say we have minutes archived.
Right,
Because honestly, I don't know how much, I don't know how much web space we have for.
Yeah,
that
is.
that's,
Yeah.
that's the other
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
how much space it would take up, but if we have,
Just like-
external hard drive
Yeah.
somewhere that can be accessed, then that'd be fine.
We using.
We're not gonna
Rich's
wanna store
storage.
them on a
Yeah.
hard drive.
Yeah, well, yeah, well,
You're not gonna want it on your computer.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what the repository
Yeah, the one
was
downstairs.
downstairs.
Have
It's
it on there.
downstairs
Yeah,
with the
it's a
8
separate
terabyte
one.
rate
But you
system.
just, but
It's
once
double
when
back.
it's all done, you just put it
Yeah,
on.
it's there. It's on the hard drive,
you just
8
have to make
terabytes,
sure it doesn't degrade.
which is
yeah, I
astonishing.
think Rich's system has a couple, not fail safes, but like.
It's
if-
RAID. It's a backup. So it's a mirrored system. So you have one and then you have a copy
Yeah.
automatically made.
But yeah, I don't see why once it's done, since the way we're doing is we're just scanning everything by year. If we just went through, pulled all the minutes and had a dedicated folder for minutes.
We could do that.
Very easily, if someone was interested, we can say, okay, here we go, and wait to
Okay.
get them to them, yeah.
Yeah, because everything should be named or labeled.
We're making
in
very
such a
careful.
way
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
we took a great deal of care with
accessible,
that. Care with that.
Can you remind us if we owe you training?
Yes, there's a
I
spreadsheet.
feel like I did it, but you made a comment
Oh,
that you did it in
yeah.
December and I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I did too. So if you can just, if I did
Annie
do
is
it, can you
the-
tell me?
If you were
Yeah.
half an hour
Annie's
off,
the
I think
master.
I don't know if you were half an hour off, but
There was-
yeah, we
there
have a
was-
spreadsheet.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was one
Yeah.
person who had just like a scrap that they had to do.
Yeah, do you want me just to mass email everybody so you can see where you're
Great.
at? All right.
That's great.
If you need training or sexual harassment, the links are now on the trustee.
Yep.
I love
Yay.
Motion to approve the director's report.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Yay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, did we do facilities? Do
Not
we have
yet.
any ideas about facilities?
Are those in the facility?
Yeah, those were in the
Yeah.
facilities, slash grant. So we did those. They were very good to work with the Red Hook signs. They were really, really
Mhm.
good. Let's see, the automatic door broke and I called the company and they fixed it. So it's fixed. We've waived off changing the policy as of yet because, we were talking about, what was it? Oh, yeah, because we didn't need the extra, umbrella coverage, the extra
Oh,
umbrella
okay.
coverage. So we're fine
Okay.
on what we had. Y'all were happy with those things. So that's all I did. The shelf inserts are in and
Great.
they're very rude.
Okay, that's right, we did talk about that one.
That's all I had.
Marketing, I don't. What about marketing? There was not the issue here. And fundraising, I'm so glad that we're, the Mike Manning money came through. That's sweet and lovely that people are doing that. keep in mind moving forward that we need to think about October any minute. Um, the latest with the budget, I'm gonna have to circle back on this again. Was on my window. We had discussed it on email. And we were saying 3 to 5%, which we're up to 220 this year. 5% is 11,000 and it seems very small. We've been doing great guns on the grant rating and stuff like that. So it feels like we can't keep dipping into the well for large chunks of money. So that was why I had started with the number. I'm okay with, 5%, truthfully, if we're good with that. It's not gonna solve every problem, but I think it's reasonable.
I think it's
to
reasonable.
do a big bite one year and a small bite the
Right.
next year or the next couple
And
of
what did we do
years.
last year?
We went up from 169.5 to 220. So we did another big bump up. So
No, I wouldn't go lower than 5%.
I would think
So-
5%, yeah.
so can we vote on
What is 5%?
11?
$11,000. So it's really not that much, but
Couple of bucks.
it'll, yeah.
And truthfully, with the
Too
tax
high
base changing, it could be like everybody gets a discount this year, that's the thing is that we won't know until much later. In, I think it's June or July that they come up with the final numbers. So we won't be able to even run the numbers until later.
We don't have to accept 5, right? If you want to go lower, you can, but the 5 is the one you're recommending now if at some point you needed to change it.
Well, we're gonna have to make a vote and make
Right.
and make a petition, and once we make the petition, that's
Okay.
it. So yeah, we have to make a decision. So
I'll make a motion to propose a 5% increase.
A second.
okay, make the second,
With
all in
totals,
Which
just for clarification.
11,000.
11,000 additional, so what is that?
So it would end up being 231.
31,000.
And then I could talk to Schofield about just running those officially through him. I did them myself last year, but then he looked at them later and said it's fine. So
Bruce second, so.
Bruce second,
Right.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. So I'll get him involved and so we'll vote next month on the cap override and the petition or the wording of the petition. We're not doing policy review this month, right?
Correct.
Can I
Old
just,
business.
you just voted on $31,000. Am I right? Up
11,000
11,000.
10,000.
as an additional.
You are currently spending about $8,000 on salaries and wages alone every two times a month. If you do 8,000 times 24 pay periods, that's $192,000. It really doesn't leave you much for the rest of the budget.
One of those 8,000 was paid for by the Dutchess County though. But, and you're right.
If
You're
you
right.
don't get the grant, you got to pay for it. Now, if you get the grant, fine. But I'm just saying, I think you're cutting it kind
Well,
of close.
if we don't get the grant, we may have to cut staff. And not all the staff are being paid out of the, I understand what you're saying. And but we also do fundraising, we also do, so
Mhm.
it's not everything comes out of the 220. Right?
I've said, no, what,
We have to, I'm not discounting what you're saying. I'm just saying that we can't keep diving into a very deep well, which is we were not being paid what we needed for many years. We have increased the staff size. But we went from 99,000, we added 70,000 one year. 2 years later, we added another 60,000. So.
at the end of this year, for the first 3 months, I'm sorry, at the end of 2025, for the first 3 months of this year, I had to take money out of reserves.
Right, which is what the reserves are there for.
Right, but now those reserves have been decreased.
Right, but haven't we put money back in?
We put some money back in.
Okay,
Some of the money that came back in was like the 20,000 from Goldman Sachs.
right. So,
Well,
so
thank you.
when you took money
You're-
out of one account to cover a bill with money that was supposed to arrive 4 months late, you
I-
didn't return the money to reserves?
You, as a board, gave me permission to use the Stissing account.
Right,
So I took money out of the Stissing account. I also transferred some money so that we would not have to completely deplete the whole shebang.
right. Okay,
But
so
all I'm saying,
when we say there's money in reserve, so when we're looking at the finances, at the bottom, we have operating funds and then there's reserved funds. And with the 3-month reserve, the 25,000, it's not really in a separate account, is it? It's
I
just
mean,
a kind of, I'm trying to understand.
Earmark.
if you look
Yeah,
at
it's money that's earmarked. So it
the 25,000
is
oh,
for the 3 months that we're not,
month reserve, okay? Your unemployment and your building maintenance, 6,000, 20,000. So you have 50,000 there. Okay.
right,
We
but
didn't
that's
have
still in
that
the account.
50,000 during the last 3 months because we used those to pay bills.
Right, but now that we have the 220 that
Right.
covers the whole of
Right. Now it's
2026,
going to come back.
those numbers are back,
Right.
right? They didn't really spend them because they don't really exist. They're kind of a number. They're a catch-all for, right?
Right.
Am I wrong? I mean,
No,
I
you're
just,
right.
Yeah, we borrowed it.
We borrowed.
We
it.
borrowed it, we put
borrowed
it back.
from it,
Back.
so
We
if
will
we
put it
pay
back.
it, now it's there.
Mhm.
But I'm saying to you that come December of
Gonna
this
happen
year,
again because it happens every
it's gonna
year,
stop again.
right?
And it's going to have to be, that's all I'm pointing out is that it seems to me you're cutting, I know what you're saying about you don't want to dip into the same well over and over again for the same reason.
Well, and we do need to make sure that we're asking for an increase every year, that people are aware that we're doing it, but it can't always be a huge increase because it impacts the town. It does, like at some point, I would rather not cut services. So if we have to start, like dialing back a little bit, in scope and size, it might be that's what we have to do, but then we also can't keep, we're gonna have to,
We can, but then
We
we risk
can.
them saying no.
yeah, so
Right.
there's,
That's the biggest,
I think it's
yeah.
worse to have, like, go for a big number and be told
Told
no.
no.
We don't ever lose what we've been granted, but,
And I think this also, I mean, it's a good point to bring up, Ted, because do we have a strategic plan? We've been talking
were-
about it.
Yeah, we were gonna set up,
Old business.
Well,
but- yeah.
We'll get there later. Okay.
We're just about there, but it's good. This is a good conversation to
Yeah.
have. You're not wrong. We can't, there's a lot of reserve funds that we don't wanna use up.
Mhm.
Because if we wanna,
Mhm.
if we get a new lease and we have an ability to make some real changes to the building, we need to maybe use those reserve funds for what we were hoping to, which is do some changes to the building. So
That'd be a capital fundraiser.
yeah, and then we have to do a fundraiser. I'm really hoping someone else is president by then.
Plus
I'm
the
just pointing
$20,000 that came from Goldman Sachs and the 50,000 that came from Mrs. Perkins and
Right,
grants that Deanne's getting may not be perennial in nature, but can help subsidize our bottom line
Right.
right.
and hopefully prevent a high tax increase.
So,
Right.
That's how I look at it, at least.
and so I have a line item that I call special funds.
Mhm.
It's not a corporate donation. It's not a personal donation. It's special funds. So it's one-time gifts that you're not guaranteed to get again. Because personal donations, you hope that person's going to make it year after year.
Right.
We receive, a big grant from someone and we're not going to get that next year. We know that was a one-time, so we don't want it to skew the budget from year to year. So just having that separate line item for special gifts. We also had a storm go through last year and we had $150,000 worth of damages. So we did fundraising for that specific. It wasn't restricted. It's just special. So it's like kind of in between where you're not restricting it and putting it into like a whole nother category. But just like you right now keep out corporate versus personal, it's just another way to separate it out. So if it's helpful in the future to add something like that, it may be worth it because it's not necessarily a grant, it's not necessarily restricted, but you don't want to look at the budget 3 years from now and be like, wow, why did we receive so much money from corporate donations that year versus other years? And I think we have such a small budget that we know kind of the ebbs and flows of it from year after year, but it's just something else to consider if you find it kind of one-time things coming in more often than not.
Well, I think there's part of it, I'm not going for as many grants this year because I want us to settle into the new budget.
Mhm.
And we grew tremendously in the last year.
Mhm.
And so the other aspect of this is we should really have a 16-month budget
Yeah.
instead of a 12-month
Mhm.
budget because the money doesn't come in. I spent money last year thinking it's a 12-month. We went over just a little bit, but we went over because of the U grant, and then we got reimbursed for it. But it's actually a 16-month because we don't get our money till
Or we
April.
shouldn't be calendar year.
But I have to do some calendar year.
Yeah.
I have to do that for state
Yeah.
reporting. We have to
Mhm.
have to show something.
But from a budget perspective, it would be hard not to have all the reports on the same schedule though, but
But spending money instead of saying, I take this number, divide it by 12, which is what I
Mhm.
did last year.
Mhm.
Basically I say I have this much money each month to spend. I don't really. I have to divide it by 16 instead of 12.
Mhm.
But it's not because,
yeah.
so the
Right.
money arrives on April 10th.
Mhm.
It really reverts back to January.
Mhm.
So it's not really not there. It's just not received yet.
Mhm.
It still is the
Mhm.
12 months.
We do the same thing.
Yeah.
I pull from our reserve fund
Yeah.
for February and March, and then in April I pay it all back. So it's just the nature of nonprofits. You get all of your big cash flow at the end of the year, and then by the time April comes around, you've run through all of it. So
So we won't be able to grow as much as we have
mhm.
in the future. And this is a budget. I mean, this is when we do our budget discussion. We'll run out of room for books.
Mhm.
We'll run out of room for programs. So we'll hit a stasis,
Right.
Mhm.
but we're not quite there yet.
Mhm.
And we've still got some room and I want to take that room
Mhm.
but having a 5%, this is what Rebecca at Mid Hudson said, just make sure you're on the budget line every year so that
Mhm.
Mhm.
your,
Yeah, you don't want to miss the
yeah,
opportunity.
your
Right.
town knows that you're there,
Mhm.
and we've been doing enough
Mhm.
visible programs. I think everyone knows
Mhm.
where their money's going. So
Mhm.
having that on the budget is probably is just a safe thing to do.
Mhm.
Not to beat a dead horse, but this is why I've said with the CD or the high yield savings, because that'll add a few extra $1,000 and release just ever so slightly more pressure off of you
Mhm.
Mhm.
when it comes to,
Mhm.
bills.
And I mean, I don't think we spend enough on a credit card, but Bank of Millbrook's credit cards have no rewards. If you get 4% cash back with another credit card, that's what I'm currently working on for us because it makes a difference. When you spend $50,000 on a year, on a credit card per year and you get nothing versus 4% cash back, it's adds up. And it takes, a good, it
Mhm.
equals a decent donation from somebody. So
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that, but I think making every penny count is important and in our fundraising, I think it's important to talk about, how many jobs we've added
Mhm.
for people
Mhm.
locally, because we employ probably, what, you say 12,
We have
eight?
eight.
Eight.
We have 3 full-time and
Mhm,
By far.
five
Mhm.
part. One of them is about to go, needs to go full-time
mhm,
because they're doing that many hours. So
mhm.
we'll see.
It's an interesting point you brought up about.
Maybe not.
I know.
Yeah.
Because
That's
people
the
like
issue.
Mike Bannon just died.
Yeah,
He's not gonna die again, right?
exactly.
And the
Yeah.
people who have donated, only one of those I can think off the top of my head has donated numerous times.
More.
Mhm,
A lot of the other people haven't.
mhm.
Mrs. Perkins,
Yeah,
$50,000.
yeah,
She's only dead once.
yeah.
So that's not happening. Yeah.
Mhm,
Right.
mhm.
So
They died.
Yeah, I mean, the chance of us getting another $20,000 from Goldman Sachs is kind
Right.
of slim to none.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you know,
not
more like 12
necessarily,
years down
or
the line.
yeah,
Might- yeah,
it might
He-
be a
he
couple
gets-
years.
and he's increased his donation.
Mhm,
But there are some people who every
Mhm.
year are donating, and they're donating
mhm.
a pretty habitual number.
Mhm. So when we look at this
Interesting.
number next year, we can't rely on last year's numbers because we have to remember in the back of your mind all of the line items that don't technically count
Yeah.
to expect for the following year. So I just personally found it easier to split it out and say, this is special, this is not going to happen again. We would love it to, but
I could break down the difference roughly for the past 4 years, because we have that spreadsheet,
mhm,
roughly
mhm.
what the difference is.
But in 5 years when half of us more or less aren't at this table anymore,
It's true.
that's the big
Yeah.
thing that I felt was important to note. So maybe for 2026 or 2027's budget, we consider something, another line
A
item for
different-
that.
A different definition.
Mhm.
Okay, so old business, the strategic planning
Yeah.
committee, we need to.
We should do that. That's all I got on it.
No,
I'm surprised
no,
that,
absolutely.
the annual report and all of that doesn't require, like somewhere in the library system, they're requiring all these policies and procedures, but I'm surprised that they don't require a strategic plan because that seems.
Well, we have a
I
strategic.
think
We
they
do, we have
Okay.
one,
Okay.
but it's,
2022.
it's
Every 5 years.
expiring.
Right.
Okay.
And we should
I
have
don't
done
think I've
it
seen it.
I think we should have organized this last year, but, Kiri was willing to work on it, so we'll,
Yeah.
I'll, get her.
How many members do if we could get a rough idea of what we would like to see?
There needs to
formulated
be,
tonight?
we
We had 5 last time. The time before that was 7.
okay.
I say the more the merrier.
The more the merrier is absolutely truth. We can only have 2 members of the board, active members, on the committee. And then, yeah, we'll have to reach out to more people.
Gary's interested, Diana Willis was interested, so that gives us some historical background for the past 10 years, for the past 2 strategic plans,
Mhm.
former board members. Um, somebody from the Friends, Jean's been on the last two. Again. Or turf it, voluntel, Vicky or Lois or somebody. It doesn't have to, that's the beauty of the committee. It doesn't have to be somebody that lives in Pine Plains necessarily. So, and then the director or the assistant director, rock, paper, scissors.
I'm willing to help with that if it's a committee that can meet during the day. That's my only thing
It could almost happen,
remotely.
yeah,
I would agree. Yeah.
because as long as there's less than
Mhm.
2 board members, then we're not subject to open meetings law. We can do it all by email and Zooms and
Mhm.
The other thing we need to talk about is we've arranged with the town board to meet Monday, the 18th, which is prior to our board meeting and the town's board meeting to start conversations about the lease on the building. And I'm just wondering who.
What time is that meeting on?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not 100%
I have it
sure.
at 7.
7.
They do their workshop meeting?
That's what I have in my, I already have it in my calendar.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so I
that's
can attend.
happening. Okay.
Is that the town hall?
Yep. I believe so. It could be at the fire station. but yeah.
Well, I'll be there wherever it is.
Okay, I'll make sure you're on the list. And
We want to discuss, maybe not now, but via email, what our talking points are or our negotiating points are.
so, yeah. Is there any old business?
Remember,
Okay. Is there any new business? Have I scared you away?
No.
We do need to go into executive session. And then you use.
Well, thank you for letting me sit in tonight.
Sure.
For joining us.
You can pop out.
uh,
I wasn't sure since it's executive.
Do you need me in it? Do you need me here?
I actually don't know that we do. I mean, it's just talking about trade,
Okay. So you
Yeah.
don't need me.
not necessarily.
In that case, after you all,
Do we,
I think you have to.
are we we're gonna need to vote?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we'll need
Sure.
to be able to go back in.
Oh yeah, I'll just mute and turn off the video, and then when you're done, you just unmute, put the video back on.
Okay.
You can vote to end, close it.
Okay,
I'll take it right to work.
okay, perfect.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss potential new board members.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Okay.
Second.
Me, Allison.
Allison. approving. to
whatever the wording
offer it.
is.
Yes.
Let's just make
Right.
sure we have audio here.
Hello?
It's a delay of like, I don't know, a minute or something like
Oh.
that. So abrupt, okay.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to come back into a public session at 20:35.
I'll second.
Allison seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. We discussed new board member and board positions with Kiri stepping off the board. So we need to make a nomination to appoint Jenna Court. Yes. I get
Say, what was
confused.
it
I know.
saying?
As vice president. So somebody make that
For
motion
the remainder of this year.
for the remainder of this year.
So made.
Ethan is making that.
Second.
Ruth is seconding, all in favor?
Aye.
And then we are willing to accept, Trish, Divine.
Mhm.
I will make the offer for her to join the board for the remainder of the year, satisfying the remainder of Kiri Hannon's term, with the hope that she will start a new term in January. Can we have a
I'll make the motion.
motion to accept?
Second.
it? Ruth is seconding, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Jenna seconds, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.